Hey everyone, Billy here. Today I'm starting a new save of No Mans Sky. This is intended for beginners or people who are just coming back to the game. The first thing you're going to be looking at is this, and I'm on PC and it says to hit the E key. What you're going to need to do is hold that down. If you're on console, it's going to be something different. So the first thing we're hearing is the voice in our head. That is our exosuit talking to us. You're going to be hearing that a lot through the game. And you're going to be starting off on a planet that is going to be slowly trying to kill you. It's either going to be too hot, too cold, it's going to be toxic, or it's going to be nuclear. And this planet seems to be nuclear. And it looks like there's a cave nearby, right up there. So right now, the game hasn't let go of me. It's still kind of going through its thing. So one thing I'm going to recommend is when you first start off, the game is going to give you hints on what to do in the bottom right. So look at those, watch them, read all that stuff, because it's going to be a big help. I'll say the first time I played this game, I had watched a few videos on what to do, and everybody seemed to start next to a cave, and they ran into the cave. And if you notice on the bottom left, my little nuclear hazard protection there is going down. And so I started off my first game, there was no cave around, so I went running around the planet looking for a cave and couldn't find one, and eventually died. So it's telling me to hit C to scan. So I do that, but it says my scanner's damaged and I need ferrite dust. It says to gather the ferrite dust for repairs. And it says to shoot small rocks. And you can, if you get close enough, it says we have ferrite dust there. So you're just going to go around, shoot some rocks. The first things that you're going to need are ferrite dust. You're going to need carbon, so you're going to get that from plants. As soon as we get enough ferrite dust, we're going to be able to repair our scanner and find something that is going to repair the scanner. So we're going to hit tab, click on that, and click there. And that's how we repair our scanner. Now we hit C, and it says we're going to be able to find some sodium. Na is sodium. So we're going to head that way. So we're going to need sodium, we're going to need ferrite dust, we're going to need carbon, which we'll get from plants, like right there. Oh, and I'm starting to die here. And I'm hitting shift, and that's allowing me to run. Looks like there's a bunch of sodium here. I got really lucky. So now to recharge the hazard protection, it says to hit X, then it brings me to the battery. And that's the hazard protection. And you can see it's gone back up. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the sodium. And I'm going to just go ahead and get some more ferrite dust. Now it says to reach the marked signal, which is this way. Now, I'm purposely not going into the cave. What the cave will do is it will stop the, on this planet, the nuclear whatever. So my hazard protection will stop going down. That's what I'm trying to say here. So if I go into the cave, it'll stop trying to kill me. The planet will. And I can go in there and let my hazard protection charge up. The reason I'm not going into the cave on this is I just want to show you that you don't have to go into a cave to be able to survive. And then if you look at the top right, that is my mining beam, and the 21 is how much charge it has left. So I need to find some carbon, and that's going to charge that up. And then we're also going to need to find oxygen, and there's a plant right there. I can take it out. And then we saw some blue crystals before like this. We're going to need these. So ferrite dust, carbon, blue crystals, oxygen, and sodium are the first things you need to get. Now the signal, that's going to lead us to our ship. But we are going to need a few things. A few of these things that I've just told you that we need. When we get to our ship, we're going to be using those there also. Now, if I do find a cave now, I just wanted to show you back there. I did need it. My hazard protection's good. If I see a cave on my way to the ship, I will be going into there because I'm going to show you a few things that the cave will also do. And also, you notice that there are creatures around here. One thing about the planet you start off on, see, my charge is depleted now. So, recharge that. But anyway, one thing about the planet you start out on, the creatures here will not try to kill you. Now, any other planet you go to, there is a chance that it might have dangerous creatures. So don't worry about them here. They're going to be perfectly harmless. So here we are, got our ship, and it is telling us to go over here. Now, if you were not able to find a lot of sodium and when you get here you're almost dead, just go ahead and jump in your ship. Either one of these you do, it's going to be the same thing. That's going to go through its little spiel and then tell you to get in your ship. So I'm just going to go ahead and hop in the ship. Now what this is doing, it's just going through its little thing, the iteration online, which I'm assuming that you're the iteration. It's going to be talking about the Atlas, and it's going to be telling you that, hey, your ship is broken, which you could probably tell because of all the sparks coming off of it. Your pulse engine and your launch thrusters are both broken. So, saying you find yourself here on this world, you don't know where you are, you don't know what's going on, but hey, the ship recognizes you and you might be able to use this ship to be able to get out of here. So you can connect your exosuit or read the log. Both are going to do the same thing. So this is going to go through the log, it's going to substitute some data, going to connect your exosuit, and then it is going to say you need to repair your ship systems. Then your self-guided repair protocols are initiated, and what it's going to do is tell you to hop out of your ship. But you see now my hazard protection is starting to go up, it's recharging. You can sit in your ship for a little bit, or you can just go ahead and hop out if you're doing good on that. And again, it is going to tell you need some metal plating. So you need to collect the 50 ferrite dust, which, remember I said to do that on your way here. So I've already done that. And I can come over here, click on the little blinking square and craft the metal plating. And then I can pick it up and drop it. Now it's wanting me to do a hermetic seal. So it is going to tell me in just a second I need to hop back in my ship. What this is going to say is that you're unable to construct a hermetic seal, that you're going to need to go to the distress beacon that's right there in front of us, and that is going to give us a map to be able to find the hermetic seal. So I'm going to hop out, and you see again it's telling us to come over here. So instead of going to that twice, I'm just going to it once. So what this is going to do is go through it. It's going to talk about some sentinels, which we haven't seen yet. And they're going to broadcast. I've never done the leaves. I don't know what that does. So it's saying traveler anomaly detected, which you're a traveler. And for some reason we are compliant. So we're going to see a little red mist, and then we're going to take the planetary chart. Now, you can see there's the planetary chart, and it says to hold down E to plot a course. Now, when I do that, it is going to tell me where the hermetic seal is, and when I head that way, there's going to be a storm that's going to start. So what I'm doing now is just looking around to see if there's a cave. So I don't have a whole bunch I have 27 sodium. I wasn't able to find any more. And this is a fake cave. Okay. And what about this one? Another fake cave. Alright, so I have the 27 sodium. I'm gonna go for it. But if you don't have enough sodium, if you don't think you're gonna survive the storm, you can just do that, and you can go over here, plot the course, and hop in your ship. Storm's gonna happen, you ride it out, then it's gonna end, and you can hop out and head towards, hey, look at that. On the left hand side we got a crashed freighter. Looks like it's over in that direction, I guess. It's right there. Huh. We might go visit that. Okay. So now, if I find a cave, I'm going to hop in the cave and stay there. I'm going to still pick up some ferrite dust or anything else I find on the way. So there, our exosuit just told us that here comes the storm. And now my hazard protection is going to start going down a lot faster. And I can hit C to scan again, and oh, there's some more sodium. Oh, and it looks like there's a good bit of sodium, or at least 2. Still haven't found a cave. Maybe I should have gone in that first cave. Now you can see it's bringing me over here to that building, and since I just recharged my sodium, just saw this plant. That is a hazardous plant. That'll try to kill you. But if you shoot it, it'll give you oxygen. So just stay away from it. What it does is it's like a Venus flytrap. It closes up, but when it does that, it'll shoot out spikes. So if you're standing too close to it, it will hurt you. So we saw one of those at the crashed ship. But when we get in here, our radiation protection is stabilizing. So you're going to come here. What this is going to say is that there was someone else trapped here on the planet, and they weren't able to find their ship, and they kind of found themselves in the same situation I'm in, and they stuck a hermetic seal in this in hopes that it could help someone else. And what it's doing is helping me. So I'm going to check out this other one here, see if anything's in here. Sometimes there'll be something else on the wall like that. Hey. And we can get some units, which this game, the money in this game are units, and you also have nanites. Those are the first 2 you're going to get. There are a few other ones. They're going to come later on in the game. Sometimes you can find like a little black disc with a light in the middle, or a green or yellow cube. Those will also give you nanites. They'll sometimes be in these. And this, we're going to go over here to this damaged machinery. It has viscous fluid in here. You can take it, and what you can do with it eventually is convert it into nanites. But right at the beginning, I just throw it away. So what I'm going to do is just hold down the middle mouse button, the mouse wheel, and on console it's something else. You just hold another little, I think it's R3, and it will throw it away. So now it says to use the analysis visor, F, to locate the ship, because right now I don't know where it is. But it says that it requires to be installed. So what we do is we hit Tab and we hit E to install technology. And we need a carbon nanotube. So hopefully I collected enough carbon and I can make a carbon nanotube. And just come over here to multi-tool and drop it in. And now I have the analysis visor. So I can scan objects for rewards. So like the rock, how it says ferrite dust and then it has question marks. If I hold down the F and scan it, see, it just gave me 200 units and it says uranium is in there. Also, I just noticed there's an unknown building in that direction. Now, let me get rid of that. I'm going to go check out that building, but I'm not going to do it now. You see it says unknown building, the distance, and hold E to tag. I'm going to hold down E and tag it. Now it stays there. So I'm just going to head back to the ship, and after I repair it, I'm going to go to that unknown building to see what it is. Now, one thing about this game is right now we're going through the tutorial, and you do need to pretty much follow it, but you can stray off the path a bit. Ooh, there's some more sodium. Remember blue stuff, that's getting ready to come in real handy. And some carbon, because I can see that I am at 26 on the mining beam, and every so often you'll see ships fly by that will not come and help you. Now on your way back, just go ahead and scan some more rocks, scan some of the plants, and if you see some more creatures around, go ahead and scan those. It's going to give you units, and it'll also, in the near future, it is going to have a way to where you can get some more nanites. So you get rewarded pretty well for scanning things. And there's one of those plants that's going to try to kill me. And one thing, if you scan a creature, it's probably going to give you the most amount of money. You got 1,000 units for that. So we made it back to the ship, and now I'm going to come over here to this damaged machinery, just like at that little house over there. And this is damaged with basium, which is poop, and I'm just going to throw it away. I don't want it. It's not going to come in handy later. Well, it will a bit. You also have a few little crates over here that you can search. Rusted metal, you can keep that if you want. It can be converted into ferrite dust. So if you're having trouble finding ferrite dust, just go ahead and keep that. This has tons of rocks around, so I'm not really needing that. You can search these little red ones, they'll give you some stuff. The big red tube you cannot search without an Atlas Pass version 1, which you can get that later. So until then, you cannot get into those. And there should be, at every crash site, there's going to be 4 oxygen plants. So go ahead and get those. We're going to need that real soon. And now I'm going to hop in the ship just because my hazard protection is going low. Hit tab, and then I get to repair the pulse engine. So we're halfway there. So now for the launch thrusters, we're going to need pure ferrite and dihydrogen jelly. So the dihydrogen jelly is made from those blue crystals we've been getting. So just go to here, click on there, make some dihydrogen jelly, drop it in. Now pure ferrite is made from ferrite dust. And we're going to need to hop out And we are going to have to make a metal plating, which is also made from ferrite dust. And then what we're going to do is on PC, I'm going to hit the Z key. It tells me right down there at the bottom right. And I can construct a portable refiner. And it's going to be charged up with carbon or condensed carbon. I have some condensed, so I'm going to use that. And then I need to throw in some ferrite dust. And I think it needs 50 or so. And see down at the very bottom it says WS to change stack size, or C to split. C is going to split it in half. So I'm just going to go down to 84 and hit begin. It's going to take about 10 seconds here. And you can right click and it's going to pop you back out, so you don't have to stand there and watch it. And then you can go back in, and then middle mouse button is to pick it up. It's going to tell us to pick it up in a second anyway. I just went ahead and did that. So now, boom, got the pure ferrite, and everything's repaired. We can now take off in our ship. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you. So the first time you find your ship, when you hop in it and then you come back out, you see it says it made a restore point. First time you find your ship is the very first time you're going to be able to create a save in this game. So one thing you do need to get used to is when you're getting ready to leave a planet or leave a space station or somewhere, try to get used to hopping in your ship and then just hopping right back out, and then hopping back in and leaving, because that creates a save. So anything you've done isn't saved until you do that. Now we're on our ship first person, which I don't really care for. I would rather fly around in third person. So to change that, I'm going to hit W and scroll over to the little gear and then select the ship there, and it puts me in third person. Now it says to use W to take off and find your answers among the stars. But I have that little building that got identified, or it's unidentified. I want to see what it is. So before I take off and find a space, first thing I'm going to do is fly down here to see what this is. And going to hit E, which is going to be land. It's also E to hop out of your ship, so it's the same thing. Whoa. I found a cave. So let's see if it's a big cave. My light is not working very well. Okay, so here's a cave. And one thing that sometimes in cave is these little things. See how they move? They say hazardous flora. If you get close to them, they release some kind of toxin. But if you stay away from them and shoot them, they can give you oxygen and sodium. So these are good things to get a hold of when you're in a cave. And then another thing that caves have, if you come up to this, see unidentified mineral, it is cobalt, and you can mine that. They normally look like rocks like this. Sometimes they'll be hanging from the ceiling, which there might be some up there. Yep, see there's some up on the ceiling also. Now, cobalt has a couple uses. You can use cobalt and construct batteries. You see 10 cobalt and 5 ferrite dust, and they will recharge your hazard protection. So if you can't find any sodium, it helps with that. But also, cobalt is pretty valuable. You can see I just got those 2 little things, and that's worth almost 9,000 units. So one thing you can do is hop in a cave and just mine a whole bunch of cobalt. So that's up to you if you enjoy that. I'm gonna be showing you a few other ways to make some money. So you don't have to do that. I am going to get a little bit. Just remember, you need the carbon to recharge your mining beam. So you're going to need to do that. If you run out of charge on your mining beam and you have no carbon, then you're going to have to find some plants and start punching them. And I don't really want to do that. So that's enough cobalt for me. I want to see what this building is. Oh. So this is like an ancient monolith, I think. A Viking plaque. So what you can do is come over here, hit E, and interact with this. And what this is going to do is, I think it's going to say we can learn some of their language, or we can learn about the past. Now I know seeking help with the past, what it's going to do is tell us to probably go to some kind of ancient ruin on another planet. And then you have to go there and dig stuff up. It's a real pain in the butt. So I'm just going to go with the language. If you want to do the past, go ahead. But if you find something like this, like I did early game, you're not going to be able to go dig anything up because you need a terrain manipulator to dig things up, and we don't have that yet. We're going to get it real soon, but not right now. So I'm just going to head back to the ship, and instead of flying out into space like the game wants me to, I am going to eventually do that. I am going to fly around the planet. One thing you see up at the top, the HUD there, it says south, and if I go all the way around, I have north, and it just goes back around to south. Well, there's that crash freighter. So we only have north and south on our HUD. So I would recommend just picking one of those directions and heading in that direction. Even if you don't want to do that right now, if you want to follow everything by the T and go up into space right now. But later on, you're going to want to fly around the planets. Pick north or south, that makes it easier. And I would recommend picking one of them and sticking with it. I used to just jump down on a planet, and I'd fly around, and I would just choose, oh, this planet I'm going to go north, and this planet I'm going to go south, and eventually I'd get distracted with something and then come back, and I wouldn't be able to remember if I was heading north or south on that planet. So what I've done is I've decided I'm just going to head south every time. Now what I did is, that was a damaged door. There's another one on this side. It's a damaged panel, and I can shoot it. Inside there is this thing, a cargo pod. So it needs cobalt. Hey, I'm glad I got that cobalt. Sometimes it's other things. This one is cobalt. And it's going to want me to repair this, but as soon as it does, it is going to leak radiation and try to kill me. So I'm going to have to repair it and get the heck out of here. Oh, it gave me units, and then boom, you see, radiation detected. And then there's another one here. Another door there. And once you go to the first one and it says it's whatever it is, sometimes it's ferrite dust, it's all kinds of things. But whatever the first one was, that's what all of them are going to be. Salvage frigate module. That's going to come in handy later on. Now there's another one down here, but we had to dig for it, which we can't. There's another one. We dig down here. Then on the other side of that, there's one, and then kind of over by our ship, there's another one, but we had to dig for those. Can't do it right now. So I'm going to continue to head south. And if you remember, I hit C to scan. I can hit C and I can scan here in the ship, and it's going to show me buildings sometimes. and the sea doesn't show all the buildings. Sometimes you can, there's one that it didn't show me, and this is a very good building. If you see something like this, a building with a big tower on it, stop here. What this is going to do is show us where a crashed ship is. This is the beginning of us making a good amount of money in this game. So one of the things you're going to see here is this, save and chart. This creates a manual save point, and it will also give us a navigation data. So you need to find the front door of this. Normally it seems like the landing pad is on the opposite side of the door. This one is nice. Sometimes there is a NPC in here. There are some things on the wall that you can interact with. And sometimes there are things on the tables. Don't see any. This is the thing we're looking for. So this is going to give us a puzzle. It's talking about there was a distress signal that was not answered, and if you can crack the encryption, then you can find it. So this one is 720 is the answer, and I know that because I've seen this 100 times, but it is 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 4 is 24, 24 times 5 is 120, and 6 times 120 is 720. Seems like the first one of these you find, it's always going to be that one. So there, distress signal detected. This is one of the best things that I love to find early game. Don't always do it, but if you do, take advantage of this. Now let's go get that ship, and we're gonna see how far away it is. So it says it is 9 minutes away. So now's a good time to go seek answers among the stars, because if we go into space and fly that way, we can get there a lot faster. So let's go up here, and it's gonna start off the next part of the tutorial. We're gonna ignore it a little bit to go get this crash ship. So then this tells us we're in the Ep1 system. Now it says to test our flight thrusters, hit W to go fast, or to fly. And it's gonna start ticking down all that stuff. Now it says to hit the left shift key to boost, which that makes us go a little bit faster. And now spacebar to pulse engine. But I'm going to use the pulse engine to get down here to this distress beacon. It's getting ready to come up and say, oh, answer the communicator by pressing X. I'm going to wait until I get down here to this crash ship. Now, one thing about that is this could be a crash ship that has an NPC, or it could just be a regular crash ship. And what we can do is claim it. And this looks like it's a hauler, so I might have got pretty lucky. This might be worth a few million units. So I use the analysis visor, and I can see that it is valued at 4.5 million units. And this is not something that I'm going to keep. What I can do is scrap it a little bit later on, not at the moment. So first I'm going to do is come over here to this distress beacon again, but this one's going to do a little bit more for us. This is going to tell us about what's going on with the ship, why it's here, and all that stuff. And then it's going to say I can search the ship for signs of life, or I can send out a warning signal. It'll have different things. Sometimes it's normally going to be something to where, oh, you're searching the ship, or you're going to send out a signal or you're going to look for technology. The sending out a warning signal and the technology will kind of both sometimes give you technology upgrades. So that's the first thing we're going to want, is the technology stuff. You see, this gives us a teleport receiver, can be installed in our starship over there. Gonna come over here to the damaged machinery, gonna throw that residual goop away. We'll be taking that a little bit later, just not right now. And hey, it gave us thermal protection, but it's for cold planets. So then we come over here and I'm gonna interact with the ship. You don't have to do this in this order. You can go in any order you want to. I just chose to do it this way. So I'm going to claim the ship. And now that's ours. And you see there's a whole bunch of broken stuff. But the only things, if you want to fix them, are the launch thrusters and the pulse engine. And I don't really feel like fixing it. And I'm going to show you how it is that I'm going to scrap this ship a little bit later. I'm just going to leave it there, hop in my ship, and head on out. Oh, and now I'm out of launch fuel. So to recharge that, I can use uranium or Starship launch fuel. I was lucky and ended up on a nuclear planet, and I was able to get some uranium, but just in case you weren't, to do launch fuel, need dihydrogen, is blue crystals, and metal plating. So make a metal plating, and then make that, and do the launch fuel. So now got that annoying little beep in my ears, and that's going to, I'm just going to go up into space to do this, because it's going to give me some coordinates to go somewhere else. Hit X, and then click on that. Incoming transmission source. Please identify yourself. You can do either one. It's gonna do the same thing. And I'm not alone. I need to follow the whatever. And it is giving me some planetary coordinates. Sometimes it's going to be on another planet. Sometimes it's going to be on the same planet we are on. You also have these asteroids around here you can shoot. And see, that one gave us silver. That one gave us silver. A lot of these are giving us silver. Well, silver we can sell. It's not something, we will need it a little bit later in game. Also some tritium. Tritium recharges your pulse engine. So that is something very good to have. So you're just going to line up that, hold down the space, and it is going to send us to another planet. We are 30 seconds away from that planet. So here we are coming into this planet. We're going to be investigating this signal source. You can see it says approximate location. One of the things that's changed recently is it used to send us directly where we needed to be, but now it's doing the approximate location thing. This looks like it might be another nuclear planet. So what I'm going to do is it's going to want me to go down there and start searching. I'm going to just fly around here a little bit, and I can see something in the distance. And this is a lucky save, because this is exactly the building I was wanting. So I'm going to land here on this landing pad. One thing good about these landing pads, and when I was also at that transmission tower when I found the coordinates for the crash ship, I can land and take off without using the launch fuel. So this is a minor settlement. Leighton Ioka is the name of this planet. So this has a multi-tool, which that's a lot bigger than ours. It's only a C class. And there are one of the little green cubes that I told you about. It gave us navigation data, and that's what one of the black discs looks like. That one gave us some nanites. Sometimes they'll both give us nanites, sometimes both navigation data. This is a galactic trade terminal. You can buy and sell things from here. Remember, I collected up some of that cobalt, and I can sell that. Also, I got some radon, which I don't need. I don't need gamma root. I'm going to save this salvage frigate module. That's something that is going to come in very handy later on. I know it's taking up some space, and space is very valuable, but that is going to be very valuable coming up. And then you see there's an NPC in here. That is a Viking. Now, normally the first time you interact with them, it's pretty benign, but sometimes when you talk to them, they're gonna want you to do something, or sometimes they'll just kick your butt. They're kind of warlike. So early game, kind of be careful with them, because they can hurt you really bad, and you don't have a whole lot of protection. So now, I'm landed here, and somewhere way over in that direction is where it wanted me to land to go and search for wherever it is that it wanted me to go. So I'm going to use the analysis visor, and it says to go this way, about 736, 30 something over this way. So I'm going to just go walking that way. Oh, and we got some water. Now, remember, we're on another planet, so we might run into some creatures that are going to try to kill us. So keep an eye out for that. So I'm just going to swim across this.
Extreme radiation detected.
Let's go underwater here. Underwater is okay. I mean, it's normally not as barren as this. It's not as nice as Subnautica, but it's okay. You're going to need to just every so often stop and do the analysis visor again. Eventually you're going to get close enough and it's going to identify exactly where you need to be. Right now it's just kind of giving you the approximate location. So here's where it's going to want me to go. You can see it has another one of those damaged machineries, and this one also has the little save thing here, save and chart. So this planet has these big flying crabs on it. Scan that thing. 1,600 units. And it wants us to come interact with this. What's going to happen here is this is going to give us the plans for a terrain manipulator, which can be installed in our multi-tool. It is also going to give us plans to build a base computer, and it also gives us these numbers 16, 16, 16, which is going to be a theme that is going to run through this game for the duration of this game. So this is just saying, hey, somebody else was here, boom, they're leaving this stuff, and we get the plans for the base computer and the terrain manipulator. Gonna extract plans. Now, it says we need the chromatic metal to build the base computer. And oh, there's one of those plants again. So it says we need chromatic metal to build the base computer, and the chromatic metal can be used from, if we find some copper, we can convert that with our little portable refiner. So what I'm going to do is head back to the ship, and I'm probably going to end this here and pick it up next time on getting the chromatic metal and building the base. So see y'all for now, and come back and watch me build my base.